Hello friends, Pitanjal this side with yet another video. In this particular video, I would be running you through TraDatAnalytix software. So this is the software that I have been developing for the past few months. And in this video, I would be showing you how TraDatAnalytix can help you, make data-driven decisions when it comes to the stock markets. So let's dive in. Okay, so to start with, you have the global markets section. Now what this particular section does is it gives you a very quick overview about the global sentiments. Now we know that in the Indian markets and in all stock markets, foreign institutional players play an active role, right? So it's very important to get an understanding of the global sentiment. This dashboard that you see right in front of me now is basically the global markets dashboard that helps you understand the sentiment that is there globally. So if you see right now, if you see that what is the trend, the trend is pretty much simple. It's basically showing that apart from the Nasdaq, which is a basket of US IT stocks, more or less we can see that the global market sentiment is kind of bullish, right? Now, what happens when you click on the charts? So here is what you get to see, right? So you have all the major markets: India, United Kingdom, US, South Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, France, Germany, all these markets, all these major markets. You can compare all these markets and see who is kind of outperforming. So if you see that the light blue color, which is Japan, has been kind of an outperformer, followed by India. And if you see who is the worst performer, you see that South Korea is the worst performer when compared to all these markets. Who has been very volatile? I think it will be this particular green Hong Kong. As you can see that there was a massive down move coming in there. So Hong Kong would be kind of a very volatile market there. So this particular chart kind of helps you understand which market, which country is kind of outperforming the global sentiment, and it will also help you, give you a cue as to which markets are more volatile. Right. Next, what we have is we have a simple candlestick chart. So you can select any of the indices, any of the global index, and you would be getting the candlestick chart, right? So this kind of helps you get a quick overview about the trend that is there in the particular global index. So this is the global market section. Now next, what we have is the derivatives data. Now this is pretty interesting actually. So here what we do is we take the National Stock Exchange data, the derivatives data from the NSE, and what we do is we kind of plot some graphs and try to forecast the sentiment of the market. Let's look into Nifty. Okay, so we would be looking at the future open interest in this particular section first. Okay, let this kind of load. Yeah, so if you see that in Nifty, what happened yesterday, which is the 8th of April, is that there was the open interest kind of declined, right, and the markets went up. Okay, so that is what we see over here, and this is the chart that you can see here, and this means that the market went up, but it is kind of not going up with very strong strong open interest. So open interest is kind of not supporting the market movement. So in fact, you could see that this is kind of a sideways action because the market went up and the open interest kind of declined by about 0.96%. So nothing major there. It's kind of a the movement that happened. We saw that the shorts that were there, they kind of unwound a lot of their positions, is what we can see from here. Okay, next what we can see is the put call ratio. Okay, now we just need to change the expiry here. Okay, I just show you that. 13th. That's the expiry we are looking out for, right? Okay, so wow, how can put call ratio basically help you in making or forming a view about the market? If you see that last day the PCR kind of increased, so it was 0.51 and it increased to 0.75. This means that since the PCR increased, the put call ratio increased, means puts are kind of writing more contracts than calls comparatively. So if you see that since this increased, the PCR kind of increased, we could say that the market is kind of in a bullish territory. Okay, next coming to OI, the option OI, right? Now if you generate graphs for Nifty and see how the OI looks like, yeah, there you are. So you can see that 18,000 looks to be a very good resistance, right? And 17,600 looks to be a very good support. So we can expect maybe Nifty to expire in this particular range given the current data. Of course this would change in OI, once again showing you that 17,600 puts coming in heavily, and there was some very good call addition at 18,400 levels. So what does this tool exactly help you? So I've just spoken about global markets and derivatives data. So option OI kind of gives you some cues about where the resistance and supports are. Then the future OI kind of helps you understand whether the open interest is supporting the market direction or not. Okay, so if the open interest would have increased with a strong up move, then we could have confirmed that there was heavy long build up, which is not the case, right? So there was slight unwinding of contracts, right? Then the PCR kind of helps you draw a comparative understanding of how the sentiments are kind of changing. So since the PCR increased from the last day, what we can say that the market is kind of the sentiment is kind of turning bullish. So yes, these are the two sections that I wanted to cover in this particular video, and I would be covering some other sections also in the subsequent videos. Till then, happy trading.